organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, some Hawkeyes are pumped over the Pope's visit to America.
Plus, Verizon Wireless is looking to build a new cell tower in a beloved Iowa City Park.
It's that time of the week, pregame football.
See how Iowa is handling their 3-0 start to the season coming up.
All that and more headed your way.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Austin Love.
And I'm Alara Bartlett.
Thursday, Pope Francis continued his American tour by speaking at a joint session of Congress. As the first pope to speak at U.S. Capitol, Francis warned the government should pay heed to looming climate change and do away with the death penalty for good.
The Pope did not specifically mention abortion, though Francis did say, quote, to protect and defend human life at every stage of its development. Roughly 10,000 spectators watched the historic address on the Capitol building's lawn.
The Pope's party then left Washington, D.C. late Thursday afternoon for New York City. Friday's itinerary includes a speech at the United Nations, visit to Ground Zero, and a mass at Madison Square Garden.
Pope Francis has been on American soil since Tuesday and will conclude his trip in Philadelphia after his stint in New York City. While the Pope has not come to Iowa in 35 years, some students are still excited at his arrival. While the Pope didn't come to Iowa, some Hawkeyes decided to go to him. Michael Bayer, the director of outreach at the Newman Catholic Student Center, says they received over 50 secured tickets and will head to the Mass in Philadelphia. Some of the participants are excited to take part of the adventure outside of the classroom.
I'm really excited that he's coming, and I just think it'll be like a really good way to, like I said, revitalize the Catholic faith. Not that it's not living right now, but just kind of like bring the energy back to it and then bring those who have been away from the church back to the church.
Through the support of fundraising and generous donations, the contingent will soon leave for this unique experience.
Students are frequenting the Biotest Plasma Center on South Gilbert to fortify their disposable incomes. Daily Iowan TV's Nikki Crossway looks at how students can easily clean up in the cash department while benefiting others in need.
Located less than a mile away from campus, students are flocking to the Biotest Plasma Center. Here, students can walk in at any time of the day. Donating plasma is very different from donating blood. Blood is composed of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Nurses take only your plasma, and then your body is capable of quickly replacing the plasma within 24 hours. The plasma is then taken to labs and used to manufacture critical care therapies that treat life-threatening disorders in a variety of therapeutic areas. After each successful visit to the center, students receive a Visa card for their donation. First-time donors receive $50 their first 4 visits. Students are able to donate plasma at most 2 times a week. A little extra money can go a long way for college students. Donors say it can make a difference in times when they need groceries or need to make rent.
Other people, and there's so many people who need plasma, so it's just nice to have money and get that and help us.
Students will be asked to answer a survey of questions when they sign in to make sure they are eligible to donate. Donors must be in good health. While every donor gets paid for donating plasma, the real benefits of plasma donations is knowing you are helping to save lives. Reporting from the Biotest Plasma Center, this is Daily Iowan TV, Nikki Crossway.
One Iowa City neighborhood may soon have a 100-foot cell tower in their local park. Verizon Wireless has applied for the rights to use Oak Grove Park, located on the corner of South Dodge Street and Page Street, to build a cell tower. If the application were to go through, the tower would occupy roughly 2,000 square feet of the park. Iowa City City Council member Kingsley Botchway told reporters the topic has not been brought to the City Council yet.
We have the way community kind of concerns from that standpoint, and I'm willing to hear those. I'm not aware. Obviously, I don't want to a huge tower over a park. I think that takes away from the ambience of a park and some of the things that the community loves about going to a park. But when talking about service, it has to go somewhere, and so are there other accommodations that we can give? What's the level of discussion? That's something we haven't brought up from a council standpoint.
Community members have started an online petition opposing the tower with 254 supporters as of Wednesday.
But Lara, it may be fall, but that summer weather has definitely been here the past 2 days. What do you think?
It sure has been. I've been really enjoying it. But let's toss it on over to weather to see what the forecast is.
Hey guys, the start of the fall season is looking up. Friday morning kicks off a little colder at 59 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Still strongly resembling that summer weather, temperatures heat up in the afternoon to 77 degrees. Then in the evening it cools off slightly to 68 degrees. We can expect about the same rolling into the weekend. Partly cloudy skies Saturday with a high of 79 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. Sunday and Monday we have clear skies with highs in the 70s and 80s and lows in the 50s and 60s. The weather then takes a turn Tuesday with a 40% chance of thunderstorms, but gets back to clear skies Wednesday with temperatures in the low 70s. That's all I have for you guys here at the Weather Studio. Back to you guys at the desk.
The annual Islamic Hajj pilgrimage, where Muslims journey to the holy city of Mecca, turned tragic Thursday after a massive stampede broke out. The incident left nearly 700 people dead and at least 800 more injured out of the 2 million estimated to make the trip this year. Officials say the stampede started in Mina, about 3 miles from Mecca. A couple pilgrims who survived the event said it began when two groups in opposite directions began tripping over one another, causing a stoppage in flow of movement. The tragedy has raised questions among authorities in Saudi Arabia on how to better maintain crowd control in such a large demonstration.
Police in South Texas are reporting 6 people dead and 7 injured after an SUV containing 15 people crashed 90 miles outside of Houston in Edna, Texas. Officers attempted to issue a traffic violation to the driver of the vehicle, who sped away upon initial contact, leading to a chase that resulted in the crash. 2 people in the vehicle attempted to escape on foot following the accident before being arrested by police. The 2003 Ford Explorer had been altered in the interior to create more room for passengers, which police suspect could hint at a trafficking operation. Initial investigations by authorities have shown that some passengers came from as far as Honduras and Guatemala.
Former NFL and collegiate head coach Lane Kiffin was in boiling hot water on social media Thursday. Kiffin remains the offensive coordinator at University of Alabama for now, despite rumors of his promiscuity circulating the campus. Allegations include alleged misconduct with head coach Nick Saban's daughter and the wife of a prominent Alabama booster. Kiffin is in his second season with the Crimson Tide, who suffered their first loss this season on Saturday against Ole Miss. Back here in Iowa City, it's been a much quieter week for the Hawkeyes football team as they get ready to finish off their non-conference schedule this Saturday. Let's toss it over to Taylor and Danny in the sports studio with a preview on what's to come Saturday.
What a tough week for Alabama, losing last week to Ole Miss at home, dropping out of the top 10, and now this. This
is definitely something that Alabama does not want, but they do have some chance for redemption and to get back on track against Louisiana Monroe on Saturday. Danny, if you remember, this was Nick Saban's first game in 2007, and they lost.
Not sure how much Crimson Tide fans would be happy if Alabama loses another game. Well, that's enough about the Crimson Tide. Let's move on to Iowa football.
It's week 4 for Iowa, and they are looking to keep this streak alive.
North Texas comes into Kinnick Stadium for a 2:30 kickoff on Saturday, and for some North Texas players, it'll be a homecoming.
The quarterback, Andrew McNulty, grew up just blocks away from Kinnick Stadium and played at City High. And head coach Kirk Ferentz's son played alongside him at City High as well.
When Andrew was playing in high school, he was a really good player, just an all-around, versatile, just the things we were just talking about, a guy who had great judgment, was really poised and very dangerous. And he's gotten his opportunity down at North Texas now. He's doing a great job. He really played very well last week.
Danny, I don't think McNulty ever thought that he would be playing at the heart of his hometown. Now this season, he has thrown for 431 yards with 2 touchdowns.
What an opportunity for him, and also what an opportunity for Iowa to improve to 4-0.
I took a look at how Iowa's non-conference schedule has been treating them. The non-conference schedule can either be a good or a bad thing for a team. But so far, so good for this Iowa football team as they head into their last non-conference game 3-0.
This is the last game of our non-Big Ten portion of the game, and it's a really important game for us that way.
As for the guys, they aren't even close to being satisfied.
We're not done. We don't want, and we're not even close to finish. You know, we want to win all the games on our schedule, but, you know, especially with the game this weekend, we got to just continue to roll. And
because we can continue to improve, you know, in every aspect, and we can't take any team lightly. You know, Texas is a good team, and we just we got to know that.
We've seen offensive contribution all around, from the wide receivers to the run game, and quarterback C.J. Beathard has proved how versatile he's willing to be. We even saw the tight ends finally getting involved against Pittsburgh.
I think all of us were confident that Henry had played very well, and he's done that and did a great job the other night too. So, you know, for us to have a good football team, we need our seniors playing their best.
On the other hand, though, senior Jake Doozy has been injured since the summer, but seems to be getting closer to getting back on the field.
I think last week was the first time he got to do teamwork, got involved in that part of it, and we knew he wasn't going to play in the game, but we wanted to get him back in the routine.
But with every offense comes a defense, and this Hawkeye defense seems to still secure this team together.
Well, we take a lot of pride in being a physical defense, you know, and it starts with the interior and all the way to the perimeter. So guys like me, Dez, Jordan, Miles, we all got to come up and, you know, fill the run as well as defend the pass as well.
Desmond King accounted for 2 interceptions against Pittsburgh, and that perimeter game is being noticed.
What he's doing on defense, you know, those interceptions were beautiful plays.
The question stands, does this team have a chance to be 4-0 going into Big Ten play? Now, Danny, what do you think that Iowa can pull off this 4-0 start to the season?
No reason for them not to. Game should be over by at least halftime with North Texas.
I completely agree with that. And like it was said earlier, it seems like the defense is the core to this Hawkeye team. And within that defense is Jordan Lomax, who was just named a semifinalist candidate for the Campbell Trophy.
So congratulations on that, Jordan. As we mentioned earlier, it's going to be a homecoming for North Texas. And that is true for their head coach, Dan McCarney.
Texas must be a hot spot for Iowa natives. Laura, what's going on?
Thanks, Danny and Taylor. McNulty isn't the only familiar face we'll be seeing this weekend. Head coach for the Mean Green, Dan McCarney, will be making an appearance in Kinnick, and not for the first time. McCarney and Ferentz were both staff members for legendary head coach Hayden Fry, and McCarney is also an Iowa City native and University of Iowa alum, making this game that much more special. But the duo have more familiarity than that, as McCarney was also the head coach at Iowa State for 9 seasons, where the Hawkeyes came out on top 6 times over the Cyclones. But let's get into By the Numbers, where I took a look at how these teams match up as a whole. Iowa's rushing defense so far this season has been nothing short of impressive. They've only allowed 51 yards per game. And on the other end, North Texas has allowed 143.5 yards per game. And North Texas running back Antoine Jimerson currently has 143 rushing yards and a touchdown. Jordan Canzeri, who's been sharing time with LaShawn Daniels, currently has 201 yards. The Iowa offense ranked 3rd in the Big Ten with 423 yards per game, while the Mean Green's total defense was 503 yards per game. And that number ranks 117th among all FBS schools. Based on those stats, Danny and Taylor, I'd say Canzeri and the rest of this Iowa offense should look forward to Saturday.
Thanks, Laura. Now, Jordan Canzeri has definitely put on a show for this Iowa team, and he has surpassed LaShawn Daniels Jr. on the depth chart due to that ankle injury during Iowa State. But hopefully, LaShawn can get back into the game this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much, if at all, the Hawkeyes use them, how much the Hawkeyes want to get that run game going. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have here on Tonight for Pregame. For Taylor Brooks, I'm Danny Payne.
And we will see you on game day.
For today, that's all we got for you on Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for joining us.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news between now and Sunday. I'm Alara Bartlett.
And I'm Austin Love. Have fun this week in Iowa City.